All right. You know what time it is, everybody. We're playing some Twisted Metal 1. And with these playthroughs, we're going to go in order as we've always done. And yeah, so we're starting out with the man behind the iconic ice cream truck, Sweet Tooth, aka Needles Kane. So with these playthroughs, I like to go through the entire tournament, give my thoughts on the game overall, maybe talk about some, real life topics and stuff like that. You know the gist at this point. If you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one, because we're going to be going through every single character in this game in these next few videos. So with that, let's jump into it. Alright, so to start out, we're going against Mr. Roadkill. Probably one of my favorite characters in the game, if not my very favorite. But yeah, Twisted Metal 1, dude. It's iconic. It's very rugged. It's rough around the edges, but I think that kind of gives it its own charm. If this game wasn't so rugged and rough and all that good stuff, I don't think this game would have been as popular as it was. I think just because it was so different from anything else that was around at the time. Because if you guys didn't know, Twisted Metal 1, I believe, was a launch title on the PlayStation 1 system. So it was one of the very first games people got when they got their PS1s when they first launched. And it brought the 3D gaming world to the mass market in a way where a lot of people didn't see this kind of stuff before the PS1. And yeah, Twisted Metal was just ahead of its time, in my opinion. It had such a unique gameplay style, so many unique aspects to this game that kept it in people's hearts, and it's why it became so popular, and why we're still technically talking about this series to this day. You know, we got the television show coming out with Season 2 very soon. There's even rumors about a new game possibly in the works. I hope they're true. And it's just crazy that, 20, almost 30 years later, that this series is still going strong, dude. And that went by really quickly, but the thing I love about that first level of the tournament is it's the only time in Twisted Metal that we've ever seen a 1v1 situation. Unless you were going against a friend or your brother or something like that back in the day in a multiplayer setting. But for the actual tournament to be going against just one of their characters is kind of wild, unless it's meant to be a boss battle. So yeah, I always thought that was a really unique and cool way to start out the game, even though it does go by so quickly that most people just kind of forget about it. I think one of the most underrated parts of Twisted Metal 1 is its sound design. There's just so many sound effects and so many things going on at all times where even though this game has an amazing soundtrack, it just gets destroyed by all the amazing sound effects that are going on at all times. And speaking of the soundtrack, yes, I do have the music turned off, and they will be off for every single one of these videos. That is not my choice. I love the soundtrack to TM1 and TM2, and really all the games in the series for that matter. However, they sadly are copyrighted because they recently re-released Twisted Metal 1 and 2 on the PlayStation Network. And in order to do that, I guess they had to re-copyright the music, even though it is original soundtracks, but, it is what it is. So that's the reason you're not hearing the music here, is because these videos will be blocked probably in most countries, and I wanted people to be able to watch the videos. But man, I forgot just how unforgiving this game is. Twisted Metal 1 is not an easy game by any means. There's a lot of things that make this game more difficult than any of the others in the series. One of the biggest is the pedestrians that have weapons, aka like the police or whatever they're supposed to be. It's very frustrating because you'll be driving away, you're away from all the enemies, you think you can get to a heal, you're about to jump on that pad to heal up, and a random dude with a rocket launcher takes you out. Very frustrating, one of the most annoying parts of the game in my opinion, and I'm glad they never brought that shit back. That was a kind of sick little 360 there. Styling on me, man. Darkseid's probably one of the hardest characters to go against in this game next to Warthog, because if they touch you, yep, you die. I kind of miss that death screen too, where it's just like red with blood and then it just goes silent, letting you know that you really messed up. It's so cool. Alright, so we've killed him, finally done with that guy, and now we're moving on to the third level. Probably my biggest reason I don't really come back to play TM1 all that much, and why I'm a little bit excited to do these videos, is mainly because A, I suck at this game. As you'll see in these playthroughs, I'm not the best TM1 player. And B, I feel the levels are probably its biggest downside. Now don't get me wrong, some of them are very iconic, the rooftops being one of them. Suburbia is pretty iconic in my opinion, and then of course the 1v1 at the beginning. However, the middle levels, so the freeway, the warehouse district, and then the Riverside Rumble, they just kind of blend together for me, and they don't really have anything super special to keep me like wanting to play, if that makes sense. Free-for-all for sure. Like, this level is probably the weakest in the game, mainly because it's just straight paths. There's not much hiding you can do, and the AI is constantly moving, which is both a good and bad thing. And the reason it's a bad thing is, as you can see, I'm trying to catch up to Roadkill, but he's faster than me. And this level is so damn large that it takes me up to 3 minutes sometimes to find an enemy, which is very frustrating. It is nice they have a lot of heals in this map, so it's not necessarily a difficult level. It's just a long level in more ways than one. So yeah, it's just a large level, and then on top of that, it just takes way too long to find people, so it just always feels like this level takes 20 minutes, when it should only take like a max of 7. In the original Twist Metal 1 and 2, you can also change your camera angle by holding the start button and then hitting the directional pad. So you hit down, you can zoom out a little bit, and you can also go into this amazing cockpit view. So this is the thing that I really wish they would have brought back for future titles, because there's obviously a lot of creativity put into this view. Every single vehicle looks different in this, in this camera view, and it's so cool. So Sweet Tooth, you can see, has a lot of garbage and ice cream and stuff on his dashboard. You can see his iconic gloves, and he's got blood on his wrist and stuff. But obviously, the annoying thing about this view is it's very difficult to see what the hell is going on. And it's kind of nausea-inducing. So yeah, I'm not going to be playing it like this, I promise. I just wanted to show you guys an example of what that looks like. But it would have been kind of cool if they brought that back for a future game as like an Easter egg or something. Or maybe fix it up to where it wasn't nauseating at least, but oh well. At least we got it in the first game and it was pretty iconic. We got Spectre. That was a pretty nice shot. I'm gonna die though from Yellow Jacket. Gotta run. This game has a lot of different weapons to lay behind you to get people off your back, but they never work. So I'm kind of glad they didn't bring that shit back in future titles and gave you more weapons to shoot out in front of your vehicle, as it should be. Because I'll say, like, at least 60% of the weapons in this game are meant to shoot behind you, which I find so weird. Maybe they wanted the special weapons to be, like, the main thing you shoot in this game. I'm not sure. And kind of speaking of the special weapons, that was another thing I don't like about TM1, is I feel the specials are very lackluster compared to every other game in the series. I would say TM4 is the second place for, like, worst specials in the series. Oh my god, are you kidding me? He flicked me in a 360 and it took all my health. Okay, I gotta hope that this full heal works. Open up. Open up. Okay, let me hit the brakes. There we go. Full heal, baby. There is secret heals, I think, on every level in this game. And yes, they do come in handy, as you can see there. But goddamn, yeah, the ram damage is so just stupid. Darkseid and Warthog. But anyway, come back to the specials. So yeah, TM4, I think, is second place for worst specials in the series. And I'm not talking about design. I'm talking about just straight up, like, damage output. They just felt useless. In TM1, it's both design and damage output are both useless, in my opinion, for 90% of the special weapons. I think Sweet Tooth is okay. It does a pretty good damage, and then it looks like an ice cream cone on fire, which is cool. But Yellow Jackets is a Molotov cocktail. Looks exactly the same as Sweet Tooth, and it does half the damage, so it's just kind of like, why? Hammerheads is, you know, he's a monster truck, so he can run you over, but it doesn't feel like you do anything. It just makes a sound effect. So, again, kind of lame. I would say Outlaw and Roadkill and Grimm, Mr. Grimm, are the three that actually have a really good special in this game where that's kind of, like, worthy. I don't like the design of Roadkill's, but it does a lot of damage, and it's got decent homing capabilities, so it's not too hard to hit people. Mr. Grimm's is, you know, pretty much what we've had throughout every game because it was just that cool. And then Outlaws is the Taser, which is another situation where it was a repeat that came back in multiple titles because it was that good. It just is very weak. And that's the problem with most of the specials in this game, is they're just so weak that they're almost useless. Spectre's another one I should have brought up that is a special weapon they did correct. It's not the most accurate. It does miss a lot of the times in this game, which is a bummer. But when it does hit, it's got decent damage, it looks cool, and it can go through walls. So I'm glad they brought that one back, and that one was a decent special right out the rip. I think Thumper is another one where it's just kind of like design-wise pretty lame. It's just a flamethrower, and I've always felt that way, but at least it does decent damage. It's probably the strongest special in the game next to Mr. Grimm. And then Dark Side special is, it should have been his ram attack, just like TM Black, but they decided to give him this weird little, like, I don't even know what you call it, just a white light from hell, I suppose. It does, like, no damage, but it has a cool sound. It's got his iconic horn sound, I guess. The thing is, as well, I'm going to repeat this for people who may be new to the series or have subscribed to my channel after I did a lot of these playthroughs back in the day. I am not playing these playthroughs to be deathless runs or to be anything that's like, oh my god, he's the best player Twisted Metal in the world. No, I just like to play these games for fun and to relive my childhood. And like I said, TM1 is the one I probably have the least amount of time in, even though, ironically, this was the first game that brought me to the series. I just didn't play it a whole lot growing up because it was too damn hard. And then TM2 came out, and I jumped on that, and I played that a lot more, and then same thing for TM3, and then 4, and so on and so forth. But TM1, I just kind of left in the dust. I never really came back to it until recently. And that being said, if I die or lose all my lives, no, I am not restarting my entire playthrough. I'm going to be using level codes, and I'm not afraid or ashamed to admit that. So I hope you guys can understand that. I don't get a whole lot of flack in the comments, like, oh, he sucks, why is he making videos in these games? And that's just because I'm not making these games to look good or to say I'm the best player in the world. I am nowhere near that. But I do love these games. I have a lot of fun with them. I like talking about them. I like making videos on them. And I really, really, really just want a new game to come out, man. And I just want somebody from Sony to see my videos, or anybody who makes TM Content's videos, and to realize there is still a fandom out there. There's still people that love these games. And we want more games made of this series. So hopefully one day we'll get it. I know there's a secret heal on this map as well, inside like a tunnel area. Don't want to waste it yet, so I'm just going to use up the rest of these remaining heals until we can find that specific spot. But look at all these different mines. So we have a mine, and a mine. Now, apparently these ones are meant to be like jumps. You put them behind you, and it launches them in the air, but I don't think it does any damage. Then there's oil slicks you can get later on. And there's even a rear attack flamethrower. It's not even a special, it's a weapon you can pick up, but it's essentially Thumper's special just backwards. And yeah, it's such a weird thing. I don't know what they were thinking with the weapon pickups in this game. But you know, I have to give them credit where credit is due, and this was the first one in the series. They didn't have nothing to base it off, and it was kind of a rushed project. I don't think they had a lot of time to make TM1, maybe like a year. So it's one of those things, like, I get it. You know, it was never meant to be perfect out of the rip, and I totally understand that. So I have to give them some leeway. Just like I give leeway for TM3 and 4, you know, I have to be fair. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty good damage. His special is crazy. And look at that. We found the tunnel here of love. Stop right where that guy was. And we get a full heal. Big W. Before I figured out those full heals through the TMF, again, thank you guys so much for letting me know about that stuff. Before I figured that out, this game I could never beat all the way through without losing all my lives. Like, I had to use level codes. But since then, I have been able to do full playthroughs of TM1 without resetting, which is awesome. Because, yeah, as a kid, I don't think I ever beat this game once without using some type of code to get through it. Crimson Fury has, like, full health. He's just going crazy with his special right now. Love that sound, though. It's super iconic. And Sweet Tooth himself in TM1, probably at the bottom of my list for just playing a Sweet Tooth in these games. I'm not gonna lie. I just feel he has one of the worst feeling vehicles in this game. It definitely feels like a boat on wheels, like it says in its description, so at least they're honest about that. Very slippery, slidey, doesn't have good turning radius, and it's pretty slow. And also the armor is not that great. Like, it's not bad compared to, like, Crimson Fury, of course, but it's, it should be more. Not only that, but he flips over like crazy in this game. He does a ton of flips, just like in TM2 and TM3. And when you flip in TM1 and 2, guess what? You take damage. So with how much crap TM3 gets, at least you could say that you don't take damage when you flip over. Imagine if that was the case. Also, his special weapon's kind of hard to hit because it's not very big. So that's another big downside to Sweet Tooth, even though it does decent damage if you can get those direct hits. The way the cars move in this game and with how limited mobility you have with Sweet Tooth, it's not easy to hit people at all. Touch him. There we are. There's one guy left. Roadkill, and he's barely alive. Let's get this heal just in case. Do a 180. Oh, I missed. Yep, missed a special, but at least my ram damage is decent. That's another thing with these original games, TM1 and 2, is I always forget how vital ram damage is. Obviously, going against characters, it's a huge hindrance because if you touch them, you die. But you can also use it as an advantage if you are a heavier set vehicle like Sweet Tooth. So his ram damage is pretty decent. Suburbia. This is a level that has always been back and forth for me. Sometimes I love it and sometimes I hate it. I love it because I think it's a really cool design. I like going through the suburbs and stuff like that. And it reminds me of suburbs in TM Black. I like how big the level is, but I also hate how big the level is in some ways. So I like it because you can get away from enemies and just kind of be alone for a little bit to get some weapons and health or whatever you need. But obviously it's too big sometimes where you can't find anybody and it just becomes monotonous, just like the freeway level. So it's a give or take. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. I'm definitely gonna die. The other thing that sucks about this map, though, is the amount of enemies. Now, don't get me wrong. I probably would be complaining if there wasn't enough enemies, because, once again, it's a huge map. So I'm glad they have a lot to go against, but going against 8 enemies in TM1, it's hard, dude. It's so difficult. So I would argue this level is harder than even the final level of the game to get through without dying. But I suppose on the bright side, they do give you a lot of weapons to choose from. I'm going to get rid of these freeze missiles because I barely use them. Because freezing is not a special ability like it is in future titles. It is a pickup. Which, honestly, that could be like a video of its own. It's just kind of asking people, what do you think about those special abilities like freezing and dropping mines or whatever? Like, should that be a special weapon that you can just input with your directional pad, or should it be a pickup like they had in TM1? I know some people will say they wish they went back to the pickup stuff, but I don't know. I like the ability to be able to freeze people whenever I have enough energy saved up, as long as you're strategic with it. We picked it up. We got the oil slick. Most useless weapon in the entire game. It pretty much does absolutely nothing. Even on levels like the rooftop, for some reason, it doesn't make people slick enough to fly off the level and die. It's really annoying. I do like the little details, like this dude that's sitting on his front lawn, just in a lawn chair chilling, while this contest is going on around him. I don't know about you, Chief, but I would probably be doing my absolute hardest to get out of this area and not sit around and just watch and see what happens. Maybe they can't because it's already boarded up. I have no idea what the lore is there, but I always just found that super funny. Always touching me, we're doomed. Do not touch, do not touch. Get away, get away. Oh, there we go. We can take him out. Perfect. I'm gonna get the full heal here. It's at the church, ironically. Let's pray to God for a sec. Beautiful. I hear that iconic sound. Maybe take out Hammerhead first. Bigger boy. There we are. I got one special back. That's another thing, too, with this game is, like, the specials not being that special, quote-unquote. It's kind of weird how long they take to come back. The regen rate is very slow. Happy they did increase that in TM2, thank God. Nice. Drive-by hit. We got Pit Viper up in here. It's also annoying how much the enemies drop mines behind themselves to hurt you. There we go. Just ram him to death. Also, talking about the freeze pickups, they don't even have any homing capabilities. They're straight shots like a power missile. So, not only are they way less available to the player, but they're kind of cruddy because they're really hard to hit directly on people, and they don't last very long. But the homing missiles in this game are absolutely busted. Like, look at how much damage that does, and they barely ever miss. It's kind of crazy. Come on, dude. Oh, I'm out of temperature with my guns. Oh, I got him with the mine. Yeah. Machine guns, they overheat. One of my most hated qualities of some of the Twisted Metals. Thankfully not in every single one that happens. I think in this one, maybe head on. Oh, I'm trying to remember, man. You have to let me know in the comment section below which games have the ability to overheat your machine guns, but I don't think... I know in TM2 they don't. TM3 they don't. TM4 they don't. But possibly every other Twist Metal they do. It's been a while, though. I don't really remember off the top of my head. You know, yeah, we got him with the machine guns. Perfect. This whole level, like on the outside of the level, is big enough for its own level. It's essentially the freeway level again, just outside of Suburbia. It's so weird. I don't know why they made this map so big. But I suppose I give them a little bit of credit for being able to even do this on such an early title to PS1. It's kind of impressive. Come on, give me a heal, give me a heal, give me a heal. Oh god, no. That almost killed me. That would have been really... I would have laughed, actually. If I would have died to that, that would have been kind of funny. Bring it. Man, she was like full health, too. She wasn't getting no fights with nobody. But she died easily, because it's Pit Viper. Alright, the final battle. That's right, there's only like 6 levels in this game. That's another thing I don't like about TM1, is I feel the tournaments are just too short. And there's not a whole lot of replay value compared to the other titles. But I do love the rooftops. This is probably my favorite rooftop level in the series. It's pretty close. I do love Tokyo and TM3. I do love the rooftop level in 2012. But this one is just the most iconic to me. I don't know. I've always really enjoyed this one a lot. Ooh, we got him. That was a nice shot. It's always satisfying when you get a power missile to actually hit on somebody on target. Open up, please. I need a heal. There we go. Remember as a kid that, like, destroying that for the first time was almost as crazy as destroying the Eiffel Tower in TM2 for the first time. I don't know what it is. There's something about environmental destruction in these games is always such a treat. Especially if it's your first time witnessing it. Take a little bit of damage to get some extra weapons here. Come on. There we go. One enemy left, and then we gotta fight the big cheese. The final boss. Come here, boy. My aim is terrible. Oh, he hit me. Oh my god, I missed all 3. No fucking shot, I just did that. Oh wow, I missed a homing missile. That's actually impossible. I didn't even know that was. I didn't even know that was. What? What the fuck? Alright, we're back to where we were. 1 enemy left. They're almost dead. And we have all our lives because we used a code. Bruh. Oh my fucking god. Okay. We're back again. This time, we're okay. No lives lost. We have turbo. We will make this jump. Perfect. We're just gonna grab some extra ammo here before we fight the big cheese. There we are. Minion time. You've made it to the final round. Prepare to battle Onion. I didn't even skip that. I just, just randomly did that. All right, come here, big boy. I got some cheese for you. There we go. Triple hit. Not bad. He's got that stupid special. It's just stupid. Dumb. Jesus Christ. Okay, don't die. Don't die. Oh, he's doing the spinnies. He's dead. Oh, we got him, baby. Easy dub. You have won the 10th Twist Metal competition. Prepare to meet Calypso and receive your prize. So right here, this is the reason, the biggest reason for me next to levels, the reason I don't come back to Twist Metal 1. It's just, yeah. There's no endings, man. It's just text. I hate reading. It's so boring. I want FMVs. I want full video. I want music. I want all this stuff. And there's just nothing. But anyway, I'll read it for you guys so you don't have to feel like you left out. So, Essentially, Sweet Tooth drives up and he sees him on the throne of broken car parts. His face is burnt beyond recognition. His face is, and his smile is hideous. And he speaks, "As you know, I shall now grant any prize you request. But I am confused. You are only asking for this?" Calypso holds a crumpled up paper bag in his hands. "I can offer you anything, Sweet Tooth. Money, fame, even power. You dare insult me?" Calypso screams. "But your mind is made up. Ever since you escaped from the mental ward 5 years ago, you have been searching for this bag. Because, in your own twisted mind, this bag is much more than just a bag. Oh yes, it is a friend. Yes, the bag is Crazy Harold the Wacky lunch sack. And he has come home." Plunging one hand into the bag, placing the other hand on the wheel, you speed off into the LA night searching for new victims, looking for a new life, where you and your bag can be happy at last. So wholesome, dude. Such a wholesome ending. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. So that is the Sweet Tooth ending for Twisted Metal 1. And then we get the credits. So yeah, there's no actual FMV endings in this original game. It's all just text-based. Yeah, as you may know, if you're a fan of the series, they have actually released the lost endings, quote-unquote, of the original game that were all live-action recorded. And they were going to be in the game, but Sony removed them at the last minute, being too sexist, being too graphic, whatever the case may be. It's sad, it's a shame, because those videos are all amazing, and they would have made the game so much better. And it would give more of a reason to replay them, because it's just so fun watching those movies over and over again. So yeah, just kind of a bummer that all we get is these text-based endings, but at least it's something, I suppose, than just you win. So that is it for my first playthrough of Twisted Metal with Sweet Tooth. Thank you so much for watching. Again, make sure to leave a like, share, support as always. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We'll hopefully see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.